Hello, everybody, and welcome to Basement Fodder, the home of the bearded beasts of the basement. I'm Todd.
I'm Dave.
And we are back from a self-imposed exile of doom. Well,
basically being lazy bastards.
And fucking forced overtime and bullshit of that nature.
Yeah, moving, work.
You would think that since both of us work third shift, it would help, but it actually makes it somehow worse. I don't know why. It's just because you're off on the weekends and I'm off during the week, and it's just hard to line up sometimes.
Yeah.
But we've been formulating plans and kind of doing a soft reboot of sorts.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we can kind of get back on track. We are switching to a bi-monthly schedule, so every 2 weeks instead of every week or every month now.
And we're working, motherfuckers. All right,
we're trying.
Yeah.
We are trying, and we're going to try to get as much done as we can. We've got some new ideas coming in. The Todd Files is creeping up to make a new return. We're eventually, hopefully, going to figure out how to do more. It came from the queue.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, we're doing the best we can. And we've put a long time and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into building this show, and we're not going to
semen.
And semen. Lots of so much arcing ropes of jism
semen.
all over this motherfucker.
Keyboard sticks, like a couple of the letters. They're very like, eh.
We thought, what better time to do a new show than when there's so much news out there. And not just in the nerd world, but
just
in the world in general. Yeah. I'm not going to talk a lot about this because it's a very depressing subject, but of course everybody knows, unless you've been hiding under a rock in Nicaragua somewhere, that there was a big mass shooting in Vegas last week. Me working for a hospitality company, there was a lot that we had to deal with in it. But one of the things that relates to our world is, of course, this happened during a country music festival. Jason Aldean was the artist who was on stage at the time. Yeah. And he wasn't hurt, and of course he had a pregnant wife backstage who thankfully wasn't hurt either. Yeah. And I know he caught some criticism for running off stage, but if my wife was pregnant backstage and somebody was shooting...
What was he supposed to do? Serenade the singer to death?
Well, what the fuck was he supposed to do? Stand there and get shot? Like, he's got a pregnant wife backstage. You bet your ass you'd be back there to protect your fucking pregnant wife.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of people that want to bitch about that don't know the whole story. Like, they're just like, oh, the famous guy running off stage. Oh.
What the fuck else was he supposed to do? What, you think you got enough balls to stand there and get shot? Fuck you.
And the other 400 people just stood there? Like, yeah, no, I don't think so.
No, everybody else in the crowd was fucking running too, and laying down, trying to get away, anything. But anyway, the way it relates to our world is Dana White, notorious jackass and former owner of the UFC, and still partial owner.
I was going to say,
some very small
figurehead.
Figurehead. He after that went down the UFC, because they kind of consider Vegas to be their home. Because most UFCs do take place in Vegas, and it's kind of the birthplace of UFC.
Also,
too.
the Tough Enough Fighters,
and
the
Ultimate
Fighter always was in Vegas and everything.
So he reached out to Jason Aldean and asked him to do the national anthem for this past Saturday's UFC show. And this, mind you, this happened days after.
Yeah,
and he was like, hey, respectfully, I just don't know if I'm ready to perform again and really don't want to go back to Vegas anytime soon. Like, I'm sorry, no offense or anything like that. And then it kind of dropped, and then a few days later he got offered SNL, and he did agree to do that. Mm-hmm. And then Dana White lost his motherfucking mind.
Because apparently you just don't turn down Dana White in the UFC.
He went on Twitter and tirade and was like, stay the fuck out of Vegas, you're a bitch, and all this shit. First of all, there's a big difference between doing SNL in a small studio with a controlled number of people in New York than doing a live indoor sporting event with thousands of people where security is difficult to regulate.
In Vegas.
In the place where you just got fucking shot at.
Yeah.
Dana White has a serious problem. Like, he's very salty because a lot of music performers turn him down in general. Like, he was talking about, like, he's been turned down by a shitload of different country artists and other kind of artists in general because people don't want to be associated with UFC. I get it. People don't want to be associated with wrestling necessarily either. You think Vince has been turned down by people a ton of times? Like, there are a lot of cool artists that'll do it. But, like, I don't know. You gotta do for self when you're fucking in the industry like that. You can't expect him to go back to a place where he just basically saw, 59 of his fans mowed the fuck down by some nutball.
Yeah. Yeah, let me take me and my pregnant wife back to Vegas. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure that was heavily on his mind, too. Like, why would I want to test the waters? Because a lot of conspiracy theories say that there was multiple like people,
Yeah.
that it wasn't just that guy, that there were accomplices that aren't accounted for and all kinds of shit. Like, whether or not that's true or not, all the shit, it's still, right now, Vegas is a very sketchy place, especially if you're wanting to do a live thing. Like, mass gatherings in that sense is very sketchy.
Why put yourself in that situation again?
Yeah.
When you just survived something, and I'm not joking when you say survived. People did not survive this.
Yeah.
Over 400 people shot, 60 of them dead. Like, this is kind of fucking ridiculous. If I were him, I wouldn't go back either.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is Dana's MO. Like, I hate to say it, but it is Dana's MO. Like, if he offers something, he has very much that attitude of, like, you should be grateful, I'm Dana White, this is the UFC. And it's like, okay, dude, yes, UFC is big, but in the grand scheme of sporting events, you are not, like...
I swear to God, he makes Vince seem calm and rational. Like, I don't... He always is the one who goes off talking about, like, Vince is much crazier than I am. Nah, I don't think so, buddy.
Not the public eye.
No, Vince knows how to handle himself publicly better than a few people. Like,
and this is why wrestling still, to some degree, I would say, kind of makes a little bit more money than them. Like,
well, yeah, because UFC hit their peak and they're petered out from it.
Yeah.
And wrestling stays steady, pretty much. Like, it goes in peaks and valleys too, but right now they've been steady for a good while.
Yeah.
And most UFCs, unless you've got a really big fighting
fight card
make exactly dick right now on pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, that's because, like, pay-per-view themselves is like a dead fucking era and stuff. Like, it showcased this when we had the McGregor Mayweather fight, and then immediately following that was the Triple G Carnelo fight, which it was 110 for the McGregor fight, and it was only like 80 something pay-per-view wise for fucking the championship match between Triple G and Carnelo. Like, you know, so
yeah, I should tell you something.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. The spectacle was more, you know, and even then, the sales were, you know, why do that when you could just go down to your local, like, Frickers, BW3s, any kind of, like, bar and grill place, you know, and just watch it for free. Hell, the strip clubs were promoting, like, hey, you can come watch it here. Like, all the ones that, like, the topless bars that feed you, they were like, all night.
They all said Vince was crazy when they did the network and shit, like, all this pay-per-view money that you're losing, but the thing is, you've been losing that money either way.
Yeah.
Because the pay-per-view
like,
business
at least
is dying.
The network is consistent.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So, yeah, Vince is crazy like a fox, like, that's the thing, you know. But it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, like, just, no telemarketers, it don't matter what time you call me, I never will answer.
Yeah, no.
You hear my Mark Henry ringtone.
Yeah.
Oh,
your mom!
Somebody's gonna get their ass kicked. But it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Speaking of things that rub me the wrong way in the fucking sports entertainment field.
Yeah, cool.
So this shit-stained article that I read the other day, and some of you guys that follow me on my personal page may have seen this. I didn't actually share it on the show page because it got taken down. Alright, sorry for a little hiccup in the audio there. We had a weird little computer malfunction. So. Yeah. But anyway, we were talking about this article. It was 15 women who would be considered ugly if they weren't in pro wrestling. Which is what the fuck is the point of writing this article is my first question. And secondly, this guy, Noah England, apparently, for the Sportster.com, which is one of these fucking clickbait, sports websites that advertises on Facebook and shit, so you'll click their bullshit little fucking articles.
Yeah.
He puts together what he considers to be a list of quote-unquote ugly women, and then decides to fucking, plaster it all over Facebook and shit. So I found it through ODB, because I follow ODB, and big, huge fan. And she posted it like, hey, look at this great list I ended up on. Like, fuck you, you fucking fuck. So, the article's been taken down because this guy got, like, flamed so hard on Twitter about it.
And I mean, it makes sense because it's one of those things where you're writing this at, like, where there's a second, third resurgence of, like, women wrestlers coming back and stuff. It's like a good movement's going on, and then you want to write some fucking hate smear
Not only that, but like the PC culture we live in and shit. Like, is this really the time you could write an article like this?
I mean,
is this what Trump has made you feel like? Like,
you can. That's the shitty thing about it. Believe me, there are way worse articles that have been written, but like, you can write it. It's just,
expect it to be not get
shit
reprisal.
on, yeah.
But what puzzles me even harder, like, there are a couple of the women on this list that I would say, like, okay, I understand where you're coming, why you would say that, oh, she's not maybe traditionally attractive or something, but it's so fucking mean-spirited to start with. Like, why write something like this?
And the wording of it's so weird too, because it's not even when
extremely vicious.
Yeah, it's like, well, that, and it's just specifically like wrestler women who are not attractive but who are all attractive. Yeah, like
what do you mean, you bro sack of shit?
Yeah,
like,
and that's the other thing too, is like reading it and like getting a tone for like how this guy is. He is definitely one of those, I like small, quiet, diminutive women who are not
no sass.
Yeah, no sass, no like no strength of personality or physicality, none of that stuff. And you can tell by his list, because he picks all women that are either physically strong or like personality strong.
Yeah, and
I not like that.
Pretty much remember the entire list because they took it down, but I can pretty much remember it. So, ODB was, I think, the first one.
Yep.
I understand to some extent why some guys would not necessarily find her attractive because she's a larger woman or whatever, a girl of size. I think she's drop dead gorgeous.
They just couldn't handle it.
They just couldn't handle a woman like that. China dealt with that her whole life, but it's really disrespectful to put a woman like her on that list, considering she's fucking dead, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, like, come on, you shit stain. Like, wow. Especially considering how she died, too.
Yeah,
like,
come
really,
on, man. Like, she dealt with that shit her whole life. Does she really need to be shamed in death?
Yeah.
Like, that seems unnecessary to me. So, another point for the douchebag meter for this cocksucker.
Yeah.
Let's see. Beth Phoenix.
Who's gorgeous.
Absolutely beautiful. And he made some bullshit comment, like, because, Beth Phoenix is married to Edge. And he was like, how the hell Edge could dump a fucking gorgeous woman like Lita for a fucking man-faced chick like Beth Phoenix is beyond me. The fuck, asshole? If Edge ever saw you, he'd probably fucking rip your face off.
And no offense, but, like, I love Lita, but Lita's track record for relationships not the best. So like
kind of a hoe.
Like he was. Yeah, that's the thing. Like he had fun with Lita, but it was like, would you settle down with her? Probably not. Sorry.
I like Lita. She's a cool wrestler and shit, but her track record with men not great.
Yeah. So and then what was it? Beth Phoenix, Natty
Neidhart.
Who's gorgeous, amazing personality, one of the sweetest women ever, caring, loves her family, loves her friends, loves her fans. Like, what the fuck? Gail
Kim?
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful woman, too.
Oh, I can't believe he had fucking Victoria, who's like, would have been my all-time like wrestling crushes of all.
Naomi?
Got to meet her.
Yeah, she gave us a nice big boozy hug, too.
Yeah, oh my god. Great.
Yeah, Naomi,
Becky Lynch, Carmella,
Bailey.
Bailey's not necessarily mine.
Fucking, just Nikki Bella, but not Brie.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Yeah.
Like,
what is it? Terry.
Terry Reynolds.
Terry Reynolds.
I was trying to think. There are a couple of Carmella. Yeah.
Yeah, we said her.
Like, it's just none of them really deserve to be, like, some of them are just egregiously like, what the fuck, like, who are you, blind? Do you not understand what beauty is? And then some of them are like, okay, I understand why you wouldn't necessarily find them traditionally attractive, but it doesn't...
But to say that if they weren't in wrestling, they would be found unattractive?
Yes, and this is like, how is this a qualifier? Because if a woman is attractive, she's attractive no matter if she's in wrestling or if she's not in wrestling. Like, I don't understand your fucking grounds for this thought process there, sports fan. Like, and... fuck this website, by the way, for, like, even printing something like that. Like, of course they don't give a shit. They're just fucking clickbait motherfuckers.
Well, we talked about that, where there's that, like, that whole new, like, free flow of information and accessibility to just the random Joe to make a podcast or an article or anything. You can, back in the day of written word, you had editors and people who were like, you can't write that.
Taste.
You can't write that, and shit. And now, most of those sites, you just have a deadline that or I don't even think you have a deadline. They're just like, okay, write it, turn it in, and then we'll put it on the thing. Because there's no, like, page...
Hell, they probably don't even read this shit.
They probably don't, because you look at, like, newspapers, there was a qualifier to get further up in the paper, or you only had so much space. But here, it's like
the internet is boundless.
Yeah, so we have
Don't worry about space.
Whatever your stupid heart desires on the fucking shit.
Yeah, it really fucking just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and apparently a lot of people the wrong way because it got taken down from their website, and the guy got flamed the fuck out on Twitter to the point where he may have actually deactivated his profile because I couldn't find him.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fans are very diehard. The male wrestling group is very diehard as far as like these are their friends, these are their coworkers and shit like that. Like,
yeah, if I were this guy, I would stay the fuck away from like anyone who's ever wrestled because they will literally murder you.
Yeah,
like you will be fucked, my friend. Like it just, I don't know. Like I'm not gonna sit here and play like innocent, like I've never talked about the attractiveness or not attractiveness of women in wrestling because I have. But I preface this by saying it is my opinion.
Yeah.
It is nothing more than just I find her attractive, I don't find her attractive, or whatever. I'm not out there writing a motherfucking article about it, fucking publicly shaming these women. For no reason.
And I would, even if I'd say, like, I don't find them attractive, I wouldn't be like, but, they're a wrestler, so I, for some reason, now find them attractive. Like, I don't again.
Well, he's not saying he finds them attractive. He's saying they're ugly and, like, they would... Like, just because they're famous is...
That's what I'm saying.
People think they're attractive.
I'm not one of those people that's like, normally I would find they're unattractive, but she's a wrestler, so for some reason I now find her attractive.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't understand this concept of, like, how that has ever worked.
He's basically like, for a fat chick, she's pretty. That's that sort of, like, mentality.
It's negging.
Yeah.
It's that concept of negging where it's like,
He called Victoria, like, the world's most all-time butterface.
I'll stab this motherfucker because I love her to death, man. She was always fucking sexy as shit to me. Like, just strong woman.
I think the guy's a son of a bitch, to be perfectly honest, and I'm like...
I think he's got fucking erectile dysfunction problems.
Something. I'm infuriated by his mere existence, you know.
It's crazy.
But I don't know. It just, it's... There's no point to it. There was no point to it. It was uncalled for. It just... Go fuck yourself, guy.
It was one of those things where it's like something positive was happening. There was a good resurgence movement, and an insecure man felt threatened, so he had to like be like, I have to say some shit. I have to fucking throw out hate when it was not needed at all. Yeah. Are you enjoying one of your guests?
Yeah.
Right now, Todd's enjoying.
You can't see it, but like right now, I have my. Dave got me a Star Trek communicator from the new movies, and it's the magnetic kind, which is the kind they use in the shows and the movies.
Yeah.
Which one part of it goes behind your shirt. The
well,
other
this
part
one's
goes
from
the
movies. Yeah.
Yeah. So very super cool. And I was
which one? That's the command one. Yeah.
Yes, I was just dancing with it.
There's a science one that I'm probably gonna get yet, but I want the operations one.
Fuck yeah.
Because I would be operations. Because I'd be security if I was Starfleet.
Well, since we mentioned briefly Star Trek, I haven't got to watch. A lot of people have asked me what I think about the new show
Discovery,
and I haven't got to watch it yet. Mostly because I don't really want to get the CBS All Access.
And you know what? This has actually hurt them.
Yeah.
This is what a lot of them have said. A lot of them have said it's good, but it itself is not worth buying.
No, because no one show really is.
Yeah, it's really hard. And they're like, oh, well, there's other shows. But yeah, this was your flagship. This was what you were going to try and sell the whole fucking network on.
There's other shows, but the thing is, there's only 2 shows that are exclusive to this. 2 shows that are exclusive content to this thing. It's that, and there's a Good Wife spinoff with Christine Baranski. Neither one of these things, are something that is going to sell an entire service.
Yeah.
That would be like Netflix being like, all right, all we got is Orange is the New Black.
Yep.
And, some, like, obscure shit from the 90s that you may or may not have seen or cared about.
Yep.
No one's going to buy that.
Yeah, that's rough. That was,
I
think that was in poor taste on them.
This is the reason that I haven't seen it yet. Now, I have been watching The Orville.
And that is a fucking... Okay. I will have to say, for me, as far as, like, visually what I saw before and then what I saw after... I have been blown away by what the Orville is.
Yeah.
Like...
A lot of people, like... It's very divided.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, this is exactly what I wanted. Like, this is better than the new track. Like, this is exactly...
That's because the new track is based in the movie world. So there's a lot of division with that too, because there's those people that don't like the J.J. Abrams Trek.
Yes. What I would say though is if you grew up on, the Star Trek TV shows, Next Generation and beyond, and even if you were a fan of the original series, this show will appeal to you because it is, and a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I loved it when it was called Galaxy Quest. All right, if you watch this and think this is Galaxy Quest, you're an idiot. I love Galaxy Quest, and Galaxy Quest was kind of a loving parody. Okay, so the original series.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Galaxy Quest is Kirk, is like Star Trek, the show, the original Kirk, Picard, Kirk and Spock, all of that stuff.
And all that shit.
All them. The original, the camp.
Yeah.
Okay. Orville is not. No matter what those trailers may have led you to believe, it is not.
The thing is, I think from the trailers, a lot of people thought that this was going to be more of a just straight comedy, and I think that was a mistake on who cut the trailers.
Yeah.
Because it's not a straight comedy at all.
No.
It's more like watching Voyager or DS9 or TNG with a little bit more comedy.
Yeah.
Like, it's more situational. Like, there's a lot of times that those shows are very funny.
Yeah.
But this is more purposeful comedy. That was more situational.
This is the beauty of, like, Seth MacFarlane's situational and commentational comedy, and it's used very sparingly.
Yeah,
and it's perfectly timed. I think that's the thing. Whereas like Family Guy, American Dad, even the Cleveland Show, how those were literally just one joke after another and stuff like that, and it was just you're running through the streamline, the gambit of all those jokes. This one is like, okay, where the other ones were joke with a story somehow weaved into it. This is story with beautifully timed jokes weaved into it.
Yeah, this is what this reminds me of is like we as Trek fans watching those shows and seeing those moments where comedy would be and being like making that joke yourself. Yeah. This is a fan doing that same thing. This is Seth MacFarlane, who's an ultimate Trek and Star Wars fan.
Yeah,
this is a love letter to like television Star Trek. Yeah, this is a love letter to the Next Generation and Voyager and Enterprise,
those suits
and all that. The uniforms,
like the ship design,
everything about it. And I'll tell you what, it's legit. Like, this is the thing. A lot of people don't understand this about it. You need to watch it because it's legit. Like, if Star Trek never existed, this show would still be great. Mm-hmm. Because it's a legit show. Like, these are characters that have levels and layers and shit. Like Ed, Ed Mercer, the captain, who's Seth MacFarlane's character, is a flawed guy. He's a guy whose career was on a track, and he was, like, poised to do great things. And then he spent too much time focusing on his career, and as a result of it, his wife fucked around on him, and his life fell to hell. Mm-hmm. This is a very real character.
And then he fell apart. He stopped caring.
He stopped giving a shit, and this was kind of like, this is your last chance. And, spoilers for those who haven't seen the first episode. At the end of the first episode, you find out that the only reason he got the job is because his ex-wife kind of pleaded to the Admiralty.
Who is his first officer. Mm-hmm. And you know what? God damn it, Eric, your sister is amazing and stuff like that.
Everybody knows we're friends with Eric Pilecki, and he's amazing. Yeah. He's a fucking brilliant creator. His sister is a brilliant actress. Adrian is amazing.
I think this is one of the best things that she's done. Yes. Like, I love this because, like, in S.H.I.E.L.D., you got to see a really, like, strong physical female. Mm-hmm. She was badass and stuff like this one. Still strong physical female, but god damn it, does she have a good comedic sense too? Like, good timing.
Great. And like, to say that you can sit there with Seth MacFarlane and go, and be an equal that way, that's impressive to me because he has comic timing like few people do. Yeah. And he works though. Like, there's little things like he already knows who this guy is. Yeah. And that's important with the show.
He has had this character in his head probably since he was younger watching Star Trek.
And that's one of the things, like, we always talk about with comics, like, with comics that we love and indie comics and stuff, is, like, that's the cool thing about indie comics is these guys know these characters so well. Yeah. And that's what this is. Like, that's one of the things I love about it is, like, when he is Ed Mercer, you know that this is a character he's been thinking about for a long fucking time. And then he knows Ed's little fucking idiosyncrasies and stuff. Like, little details, like he's got Kermit the Frog on his desk.
Yeah.
And he's like, I look up to him as a great leader and stuff. Like,
yeah.
And
such
like,
good stuff.
Little like one-liners that he repeats, like the character who's the chief of security is like an alien race called the Salayans who live in a heavy gravity environment. So out of that environment, they're fucking super strong.
She's basically a Kryptonian.
Yeah, she's essentially like a Earth 2 Superman.
And literally, she is one of my favorite characters.
She's fucking great. I love her. She's awesome. But like, he'll try to like open a door or do something, and this is like a recurring thing. Hey, you want to open this jar of pickles for me? Like,
yeah,
that's already.
And then
a thing.
when she does it, he'll be
natural.
like, "I loosened it up for you."
Yeah, and he's done it in a couple episodes now, and it's so natural. It's like, yeah, that's what Ed would say. Like, he's that guy.
Yeah.
And then the relationship with him and Adrian Palicki is so fucking complicated. And, like, you imagine, like, and going just literally completing a divorce a few weeks ago, I can tell you that this would be the most goddamned awkwardest thing in the world to have to go into work and have your direct subordinate be your ex.
Yeah, and it's so dysfunctionally functional.
Yeah.
It's crazy
because you can tell how these people were a couple, and you can tell why they're not.
Yeah.
And that's a thing.
Yeah. I love most of the like supporting cast on this. It's like the supporting cast is just as strong.
Scott Grimes is amazing. Is the helmsman Gordon?
Yeah.
He, if you guys are American Dad fans, he's the voice of Steve.
Yeah.
And Steve comes out a lot. Like when he screams, he's totally Steve.
Oh yeah.
But
so
he's
good.
a great character. He's fun. Like he's Seth MacFarlane's kind of best friend and guy that he's been with forever.
Yeah.
The other, the pilot navigator guy, he's great. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
I know he plays something Lamar.
Yeah. He's fantastic.
Bordis.
Yeah, Bordis, who is like kind of their, I would say kind of their Worfish sort of character.
He's like if Worf and Spock kind of like.
Because they're not very
refused.
emotional, but they're like, he's from like a species that's all male, and there's a really interesting episode about that.
Yeah.
And his partner, the funniest thing, the guy who plays his partner is Chad Coleman, the guy who played fucking Tyree on Walking Dead and fucking, what's his name on Arrow?
Church.
Yeah, Tobias Church.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that was him at first, and then I saw his name in the credits, and I was like, fuck me, that's Chad Coleman. Like, and he's basically playing like a big gay alien.
Yeah. I know, it's fucking hilarious. He's the white.
But I guess you can't even call him gay, though, necessarily, because their whole species is pretty much men.
Yeah.
Like, it's
lay eggs.
Yeah, and they lay eggs, and that's fucking, I mean, there's just, Norm Macdonald has a recurring part, voice work as like a gelatinous blob. Yeah.
Who's hitting on the doctor?
The doctor is a great piece of casting. That's Penny Johnson-Gerald, who I'm a huge fucking fan of.
She does such a great job.
A lot of people will probably remember her as the chief on Castle, but she's also fucking Cisco's girlfriend from DS9. Yeah,
DS9. So to get
Cassie
her
Yates,
is a fucking...
That's a Trek veteran there.
Right
like,
there.
And she's so good. Like, she's this great mentor sort of role.
But not, like, overbearing.
No, you know what it reminded me of? You didn't play Mass Effect, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, in Mass Effect, the Doctor in Mass Effect is this sort of character. It's like, I transfer myself to this ship because I thought you might need my help.
Yeah.
Like, when it's a young guy in command, somebody who might need assistance, like, this is, I go where I'm needed.
Yeah.
And I love that kind of character.
Yeah.
She is like the fucking, like, she even makes an Obi-Wan joke at some point.
Yeah.
Like, she is that kind of, like, mentor kind of character.
The episode where I can't remember her name, but the security has to take over. Alara has to take over, man.
Yeah,
that's a great one where she's like, I'll give you advice, but I'm not going to tell you what to do, and no, I will not do this for you.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Like, you have to learn how to do it and stuff. She does such a great job.
The guy who they got to play the chief engineer, I love him too. You guys, if you ever watched According to Jim, he was like Jim's dipshit brother-in-law.
Yes.
Tubby blonde guy.
Yes.
I love this guy. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head.
Because he's got like a weird
great.
kind of like matter-of-fact, sarcastic kind of, but like in a schlubby guy kind of way.
Yeah, he's so
it's
great.
Yeah.
They've already had some amazing guest stars. Liam Neeson did a cameo.
Which blew me away.
Fucking
I was like,
amazing.
what the
He
fuck?
doesn't do TV.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron was in the last episode, which, again, doesn't really do TV. Like, it was pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, the last episode was, like...
I haven't seen that one.
Excellent.
I gotta watch that one.
Yeah, you gotta watch that one. It was excellent. I instantly was hooked on it.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's really good. You haven't watched either of these shows yet, but I started watching it. I watched The Inhumans and Gifted.
I watched about 5 minutes of each one.
Yeah. Now, Gifted did really well. Its numbers surpassed both Legion and I forget what the other show was that they said. So that one did really good. And I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. It's an interesting... The way they went about it with the X-Men was like... The Brotherhood and the X-Men did exist. We don't know what's happened to them. It's very ambiguous as far as, like, we don't know what's happened to them because this is based around the mutant underground. So, of course, they're not going to know... per se where they're at and stuff, so that's never to say that we might not see somebody from that. The powers look good. The characters are pretty strong. I only got to see the first episode, so I'm still waiting on more episodes.
I think I watched about 15 minutes of it because I had to go to work, but of the two that I've seen, I've seen a little piece of Inhumans. Yeah. Probably the last 15 minutes of the third episode. Yeah. And then I saw about 15 minutes of that, and between the two of them, I would probably watch Gifted again.
Yeah. Inhumans is one of those, I'm kind of like forcing myself to watch it. It sucks because it's characters that I've loved for a while. Yeah. But... I don't know, it's rough because this is like one of those you can kind of feel the lack of pretty much everything, like a lack of like devotion to the project. Oh yeah, not by the actors. The actors have done their best for what they were given. Right. It feels like it's like by the studio and like the people supporting this. You feel very much like this got dropped out.
It reminds me of, like, when they've adapted certain things, and, like, it's just a very, very loose adaptation. Yeah. And you're like, well, I really love it, so, like, I want to love it. Like, I want to love it because I love the book, or I want to love it because I love the movie, or whatever. Yeah. Like, it reminds me of, like, some Stephen King adaptations. Like, I was trying to think of one of them. There's a couple, but like it's like, man, I want to love it because I love the book, but this isn't it. Like
it really is kind of like I wanted to love it when the Shield, like Agents of Shield, started doing Inhumans, but then they did Inhumans.
It's just such a neutered version of it.
Yeah, it is.
That it really isn't. It's not going to be satisfying to a hardcore fan because they want the real thing. Yeah, and it's not going to be satisfying to a casual fan because there's nothing really visually interesting about it, and there's nothing really storyline that's all that interesting about it.
It's just very difficult, like because there's like, as a comic book fan and stuff, I know these characters and they've changed so many things to a point that it's like this makes no sense. Now, like it would probably makes more sense to the casual fan because they don't know all the baggage and shit like that.
Well, plus, I'm gonna be totally honest, I feel like it plays like a show that was made in another time. Yeah. Like, it's not super dated, but it's like, I don't know, it's like they cliched a bunch of shit from other shows. Yes. Yeah. And, like, kerborbled it into a fucking ball and called it this. Yeah. Like, there's elements of Game of Thrones in there. There's elements of, like, there's elements of S.H.I.E.L.D. in there. There's elements of, like, the DC shows in some respect. There's elements of older Marvel shit. It honestly reminds me more of like watching the old X-Men movies than it does watching like the modern Marvel shit. Like the pre-MCU stuff is what it comes off like. Like watching that old fucking Hasselhoff Nick Fury thing.
That intro is fucking atrocious. Good God.
Fucking intro looks like a PowerPoint presentation from 1993.
About who the Inhumans symbols are.
Click to continue. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that was absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. I've seen Cartoon Network, like, shitty cartoons that have better intros than that. Yeah. It's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty forgettable.
I strongly see... If this is what they're putting out and stuff, as much as it saddens me, I see why this will be a complete series instead of season 1 kind of thing. I have said it again, like, and I will. Unfortunately, Marvel is lacking severely when it comes to the shows, and people are like, "Oh, but the X-Men." I'm like, "But that's not Marvel. That is Fox with a little bit of Marvel, help." But I mean, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which got saved because Disney forced the network to renew it. Like, that wasn't even... Honestly, I'm pretty sure they were going to get canceled. And then Disney basically threw its dick on the table and was like, you remember we own you, right? And you're
essentially, that's, from what I understand, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah. And... I don't know. It kind of shows. Like, they all the Marvel fans and all the stuff want to constantly be like, we've got the best movie thing. And I'm like, okay, sure. You've got a really strong, interconnected movie, thing going on here. But you oh my God, in the animation and in the fucking, TV world, you guys have dropped the ball so fucking hard.
Yeah, the Netflix stuff is what it is. Like, Daredevil is great. Luke Cage, I've heard, is really great, too. Mm-hmm. I hated Jessica Jones. Yeah. I couldn't get through it. I haven't really seen anything that's going to tell me I'm going to like Iron Fist.
Iron Fist is if you love the character, you will get through the first season. If you're
with
not,
hope for more.
And that's the thing. Like, we got our hope in the sense of, they fired the showrunner. There's a new one. There's, a new kind of, hopeful direction for the second one. So we're hopeful for that. There's been pictures spotted of Danny on Luke Cage Season 2, so we might get the Heroes for Hire thing, which is cool. Honestly, Defenders, I liked it, but it did not go over as necessarily as well as they had hoped. It had the least opening numbers of all the shows, which was surprising. Then they've got Punisher, which I give no fucks about.
Nope, couldn't punt past a kick or rent a fuck.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just me. And you. Others might enjoy it. We'll see what its opening numbers do. But that's Netflix. Again, that's Netflix doing that stuff. There is Marvel there, but that's Netflix helming that kind of stuff. So I don't know, the stuff where it seems like Disney and Marvel are kind of in control of is really not. It's not strong.
No, it really isn't. And I tell you, I don't know. I don't have hope for it either.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It just really didn't do anything for me.
Yeah. DC news though. They've been dropping all kinds of stuff about this year's crossover, which I know you're excited about.
Extremely excited
because of what it's based around. Apparently, Supergirl is probably going to be more in the forefront on this one because of how lacking it was in the last one, which makes sense. You're gonna.
She's basically playing two parts too, because she's not only playing Supergirl, but because of what they're doing, she's playing Overwoman too.
Yeah, so this will be interesting to see the characters do this. We're getting a new character. We're getting the Ray, which they'd already done the seed for. Oh, speaking of which, I saw the trailer for the Constantine. Yeah. That looked awesome. But we're finally getting, what they did with Vixen, we're getting the live action version of the Ray.
Yeah.
So that should be awesome. The crossover will be good. The only thing I'm a little sad about is I have not seen much on the Black Lightning front.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, and that kind of worries me a little bit.
It does kind of.
I haven't seen anything since that trailer.
Yeah, that is that was it. I haven't heard nothing. And it's shows are going to be debuting this week.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're all starting tonight. They go. So, what else is there? The new Justice League trailer.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, this is our first glimpse into the Whedon reshoots.
Yeah.
We see the trailer opens up with Superman and Lois. This is a much slimmer Henry Cavill. This is not Man of Steel and Batman v Superman build.
Giant,
this
enormous
is
Henry Cavill.
And you know what? I think this is something. This is not Superman we're seeing. This is Clark Kent we're seeing.
Right.
It's open very much on the farm in Smallville. This is Clark and Lois. So I think maybe this was kind of the beauty in bringing in having Whedon come in, was he was like, hey, you have basically functionally missed a huge mark on this character. Yes. You need to have but you have a blank check. You have an opening.
Yeah.
This is where you can, if you bring him back, you need to bring him back with a solid Clark persona.
I agree,
and that's what needs to, and that's what it kind of looks like. And then the rest of the trailer is fucking awesome. They've done a really good job of, using good known songs in new versions of them to really push these trailers. And I still say it. I know earlier testing people said they love the Flash because he's very much the Spider-Man of the group and stuff, because Barry is apparently Wally West now. But for me, I feel like the takeaway winner of this trailer again, and probably will be the movie, is going to be Jason Momoa Aquaman.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, the more and more I see of the Jason Momoa Aquaman, he's not only a fucking badass, but he has great, that kind of comedic, like, loose, fun, kind of like, it's Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
The trailer looks awesome. We get to see more of Steppenwolf.
Yes.
And man,
he looks fucking awesome.
If you were ever worried about what he would be like as a bad guy and stuff, because, like, in the comics, not till they redid the Earth 2 stuff, did he seem like a badass. He definitely looks like an imposing fucking badass in this movie. So it makes you wonder, Jesus, how are they going to knock it up for Darkseid or Kalibak?
Fucking imagine.
Because imagine those characters. Desaad,
Yeah.
Fuck. And you know what? I'll give them credit. They actually did a good job of making the parademons slightly fucking disturbing looking.
Yeah, they are fucking creepy as hell.
Creepy as shit. So,
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I can't, man. Like, November's going to be a solid month because, November 3rd is Thor Ragnarok, which fucking just salivating for that. And then 14 days later is Justice League.
Yep.
November is the month. Like,
it's definitely the month for us.
Yeah,
for
it's like the two movies I've been waiting to see the most come out.
I mean, hey, it's a good time of year to be me and you.
Yeah.
Right now, we're just days away from our birthdays.
Yeah.
As well. Your birthday's the 11th, of course, and mine is the 12th.
Yep.
I'm excited about celebrating birthdays.
Yeah, it's going to be good times.
We're going to be trying to do some hangout stuff on Wednesday.
But we're also old working men, so, hey, yeah.
Well, we're going to be doing this Coast Eye After Dark thing, which is really cool.
Cool.
That's going to be on Thursday. They're doing a big horror Halloween theme thing, and that's definitely up our street. Mm-hmm. And then I think we were trying to plan something on Wednesday.
I think we're going to go bowling.
Talking about going bowling, because we haven't gone bowling in a long time.
Because it's awesome.
Are you going to say how old you're going to be?
Yeah, I'll be turning 33.
I will be turning 37 in a row. Don't try not to suck any dick in the parking lot. Hey, you're back here.
You and them lot lizards, man. Jesus.
Yep, 37. 3 from 40. It's fucking depressing. But I have managed to duck my birthday depression so far, which is pretty fucking great.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Usually the 2 weeks prior to my birthday are my worst two of the year.
Yeah, I think that also, like, I understand on that one. I feel like that has a lot to do, though, with, like, there's been a big change in the atmosphere of, like, where we're at and stuff like that. Also, too, we don't have the time. I don't have the time to be depressed.
No, me either.
Literally.
My God. There's literally no time for depression because I got a fucking 40-hour work week to fuck with.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we've died back out again because like our busy season is over until it picks up again around Thanksgiving-ish. But like last night, it was just deader than fuck, like 30, 40, 50 minutes between calls. So it's nice for your like relaxation, but productivity kind of not there.
No, not there.
Bonusing is based on productivity, and Daddy likes his bonus.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I don't have to necessarily. Mine's pretty much steady, consistent. So it's not crazy, but it's not,
I think a lot of it has to do with my mental state and shit too, like because. Like you say, this has been a year of a lot of changes. And I look back, like, at my Facebook posts and stuff, like, your memories will come up from this time last year and, like, the last few months and stuff. And, like, this is something I've kind of avoided talking about, but my divorce was finally final a few weeks ago. I think I talked about it a little bit the last time we recorded, but, like, I'm just... happiness-wise in a very different place than I used to be.
I was going to say, like...
And I look at those posts from last year and the year before, and it's always... They're very depressing posts.
They are.
Like,
they were very,
I'm a very, like, emo bitch.
Yeah. Like, I did my best to kind of try and, like, easily push you through that point, but there was a lot of times where I was like, alright, I'm going to put my foot in Todd's ass, because depressing messages are killing me.
The thing is, like, it really was just... I was not happy with where I was.
Yeah.
And... this is not, like, any offense to my ex or anything like that. And I don't want to ever vilify her because we spent a lot of time together. And
it's just life.
Whatever she thinks of me is whatever.
Yeah.
And I understand. But, like, it just... people change and people grow apart. And
that's the thing.
Reality.
Like, if you're changing but your life's not changing, then it's not... you're gonna get to that point where it's like where you are and where you want to be are not anywhere near each other, and it's just gonna create fucking conflict in a like negative way. And I mean, even me, where I'm at now, where I was then and stuff, I feel like I'm in a much better spot. You know, like things are. You know, like I still have my challenges that I need to.
But I think in a lot of ways for both of us, this has been like a really turnaround kind of year for us. We're like kind of comeback kids, and like to some respect, like it sucks in a way because we've lost a lot of time to do some of the stuff that we love. Like I tell you, we live in the same house, but we barely see each other. Like we'll see each other for a few minutes in the morning sometimes, and a few minutes at night. And maybe randomly when we both wake up to pee, like at some point,
we grunt at each other,
you know, and the random off day that one of us might be sick and staying home or something like that. But like honestly, we just don't have the time to spend together anymore, and we haven't got to go to a lot of shows that we've like. This is the first time we missed Cincy in a few years. But like, neither one of us. I spent 8 years, you know, not working, and the fact that I'm going to hit my year anniversary like in February at my job, that's pretty good. You know, I haven't being off that long and then finding a place that I mean, I love my job. It's wonderful. Like it has its problems like any place does, but I'm happy there, and I've met some amazing fucking people that have built like real friendships with, and that's impressive for me.
And you know what?
Your job's going really well too. You know?
I think the thing is like too is we had the big change where we were, you know, we're moving, the divorce, new jobs. Stressful. You know, school, all that stuff. So it was like we kind of had to dive into the new pretty heavy to get traction and really start going. And unfortunately, you know, stuff like getting to hang out, the show, kind of unwillingly had to take a little bit of a back seat to it. Like we tried to maintain as well as we could, but I feel like now we're finally getting to that point where, you know, and I talked about this with you, where we had to like, you know, we came to that crossroads where we had to make that choice. Like, are we going to continue to try and do this? Or are we going to have to be like, we gave it our best shot, you know, and we made a choice.
No, and then ultimately neither one of us, like, we both said the same thing. Like, we've spent too much time and built too much and put so much into it.
And I want to see where it can go. That's the thing. Like, we've gotten a little bit of a glimpse of where it could go, but we haven't really got to fully realize that. And now that we've kind of stabilized with where we're at, I would like to like refocus and put, you know, the energy that we really wanted. And now we have the financial backing to a degree. You know, the stabilization of the jobs to kind of like really push more. So I think, you know, and that's positive for us. Yeah, we may not be able to hit as many shows as we used to, but you know, what we make up, like what we lack in being able to hit up all those shows, we're going to make up for in other ways. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And I still have passion for this. I still have...
Oh, yeah.
I will never... To me, I don't think I'll ever lose the passion to do this. I think it's just like a matter of exhaustion. Kind of was...
we got the passion. Our bodies are just getting older, so it's
37 almost, and you're 34. Like, we're not young anymore.
No.
Like, I mean, we're not old. We're not young either.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I do on the weekends. Like, I'm fucking constantly... Like, actually, I've dove even harder into my LARPing more so now.
Because you have more means to do it.
Yeah, more means to do it. Like, I had one this weekend. Now I got another one coming up this weekend, and that's for DAG, which is like a super physical one. So it's like, plus working the hours that we work, it's like, you know, it's go, 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 and then just full steam, and then just drop, you know, like...
But anything worth doing is worth doing right. And worth putting the effort for, and we're committed to doing that.
Yeah, so
Speaking
definitely going to try.
That are awesome that you did, though. We didn't get a chance to talk about this, but you went to Dragon Con.
Yes, I went down to Atlanta and got to go to Dragon Con, and holy fuck is literally all I can say about this, because Dragon Con is almost like, I feel like next year, like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go down to Dragon Con again, because I only got to go down and, like, you know, really only do it for, like, a solid day, and then, you know, I was hanging out with other friends in Atlanta. But like Dragon Con is almost like one of those things like you gotta train for, like you're going to a marathon. Like, it's no shit, dude. Like, when I tell you Dragon Con is all of downtown Atlanta, I'm not fucking joking. Like, it's 4 or 5 different hotels in downtown Atlanta, and I mean,
Mother of God.
Yeah, you think it's bad, like during like these, parades and shit like that. That's literally what it was just a nerd fucking parade from hotel to hotel. You had a hotel specifically for the famous people. You had a one for just the shopping. Then you had one for gaming and one for other shit. Like, I think last year's number were 80,000. This year's numbers, I think, are over 100,000. They said they're going to have to open a 4th floor for the shopping.
Good God.
And they may have to get another hotel involved. Like, and Atlanta's not like just a flat place. It's like up, down, kind of like Cincy.
Yeah.
Walking up hills, down hills and shit. So, I mean, there was cosplayers and nerds as far as the eye could see. Like, if you ever wanted a glimpse of, like, what San Diego could be, Dragon Con is intense.
I'm of two minds on that, because, like,
Yeah.
I've dreamed of going to San Diego my entire life, but I also don't know if I can handle it.
I think you could handle it better than you could Dragon Con, just because of, California's flatter, But, yeah. So, other than that, it was intense. I was tired. Like, and all the physical stuff I do, holy shit. It was almost too much for me. Like, up and down, escalators, stairs, hills, everything. I had to wait in a line to get into the vendor's hotel. That the line started here, wrapped all the way around the hotel that it was in, and it had already opened. Like, and I had to stand in line just to get into a three level vendor area. It was crazy. So,
yeah, I couldn't even fucking, like, I'll tell you what, dude, IKEA was, like, rough for me.
Yeah. all I know is next year, I'm gonna have to buy a suitcase just for the stuff I bring home from Dragon Con, and I'm probably gonna have to just take my tax return, because, like, holy shit, it was a nerd smorgasbord of, like, everything. Like, my suitcase was almost full of pops and, like, other shit. Like, it was ridiculous.
I couldn't do that. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though, like, since I brought it up, I have to talk about IKEA.
The IKEA?
I have to, because it's like no store that I've ever been to in my life. Okay, so we've never had IKEA here. Like, I know a lot of you guys around in other places of the world, you guys have IKEA, and it's just not a big deal. The closest IKEA to us was Cincinnati, and that's fucking an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And I've never been in one before.
It's like going to a Costco the first time you go to a Costco. And I'm not saying not even a Sam's Club, because Sam's Club is like nothing compared to a Costco. A Costco and an IKEA are like things all in their own league, because they're almost like fucking small cities.
Yeah,
like,
it's insane. Like, it's as big as like 3 Walmarts, like, put together.
Yeah.
3 super giant Walmarts. Like,
multi-level.
Multi-level. I think it's a fascinating kind of fucking concept in the way that they build it, because they actually use game theory, and they use, like, thought, like, the thought process of, like, how to lay out. It's very much based on game theory and, like, puzzle and shit. Because, like, it's fascinatingly laid out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, fucking it's enormous. Like, you get in there, and you come to, like, they have the swirling doors, like the fucking revolving doors, but it's a giant electric revolving door.
Yes.
So you go through the giant electric revolving door.
Because people love fucking revolving doors.
Because the Beach and I went there, like, Ariel and I went, and fucking she does not like revolving doors, so she was quite terrified of it. I,
Is she
in
afraid
fact,
of getting
loved
trapped?
it.
Is she afraid of getting
Yes,
trapped?
but I'm like,
in
it's electric, it moves, like... But she was like, what if it stops moving? I don't want to live in here. And I'll admit, if that happened, I would freak out, because I'm fucking claustrophobic as hell.
I just start smashing some windows. Yeah. Fucking just like pickle jar.
I'll open that fucking jar of pickles, but like... No, so you go through the giant electric door of doom, and then there's like a little kid area where like you can pay like a couple dollars or whatever, and they'll watch your kid and feed them and all that. It's like a daycare center.
They do, yeah, it's a daycare.
And then like you can go, if you go to the left, you can go to like just the straight warehouse part of it. Mm-hmm. But if you go up the escalator, that's where they have the restaurant, which is insane. It's like this massive, fucking enormous restaurant that's cafeteria style, which is where they got the meatballs and shit, and it's dirt fucking cheap.
Yeah,
like we got like these plates that are a meatball special, basically, which is like a big ass fucking load of meatballs with gravy and like mashed potatoes and green beans and shit for like $6.
Yeah,
and it's a fucking meal.
Yeah. It's like one of those where you're like, well, I'm good. You need the energy to walk around the IKEA.
Their breakfast, like they had breakfast, lunch, and dinner there with specials and shit. Their breakfast was like $2 for this like egg breakfast and shit that had all this stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? And then they have their fountain drinks. Like they don't have any like name brand fountain drinks. It's like they have cola, diet cola, then they have juices and like drinks and like fizzy drinks and shit. Yep. So it's like lingonberry juice and like some other kind of juice, and then they have a pear kind of aperitif, and they have a lingonberry. Everything's very lingonberry because apparently lingonberries are huge in Norway or Sweden or wherever the fuck it's from. Yeah. I'd never had it before, and I loved it. Like,
it's good. It's
it
really
tastes
good.
like a less tart cranberry.
Yep.
So all the shit you like about cranberry, but less like mouth hurting.
Yeah, that's like, oh, I can't drink that much of it.
But anyway, like, but when you get to the top, if you go to the right, when you get to the top of the fucking escalator, it's what they call the gallery.
Yep.
And it's like there are some products that you can pick up and put in a basket, but it's basically like everything they have, but laid out like it's in a house.
Yeah. They want you to see practically what it all is gonna.
This is fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
this is literally fucking brilliant because like each little section you go into is like a fully realized room of a house, and it all follows this linear path that has like they have these like projectors on the ceiling that project arrows onto the floor so you don't get lost because you can't. It's like it's labyrinthian.
Yeah.
So you follow through all this shit and you look at all this cool ass stuff and like how it would look in your house and it gets you fucking thinking about like, oh goddamn, this looks really cool in my fucking house.
Yeah.
So what got me were pillows because you know I'm kind of a pillow and blanket whore.
Yeah.
Well, like they had goose down pillows and like goose down pillows is on my list of shit that I've always wanted but never had.
Yeah. Because it's like, A,
who the fuck sells goose down
pillows? And B, if they do,
they're
expensive. Fucking expensive as shit.
So, like, they have goose down pillows, and I'm like, fuck, how much are these goose down pillows? But it didn't say. Like, there's, like, you could find out, but it's, like, weird. I don't know. Yeah. Hard to explain. So then finally I get to, like, after you go through all the sections of shit that's all laid out, then there starts to be more shit that's, like, not laid out. It's just, like, the nuts and bolts kind of stuff. Like, there's the bedroom area that has nuts and bolts stuff. There's a shelving area. There's, like, all this stuff. And it's so, I'm like, man, I tell you what, like, Ariel wore her Fitbit, right? By the time we got done in this place, we walked just a shade under 2 miles.
Yeah.
And we actually cut off a small chunk of it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I literally was like, I can't stand up anymore.
Yeah.
Because I just worked an 8-hour shift before we went there.
Yeah, this was not a good idea to do right after work.
And shopped at a couple stores because they weren't open yet.
Yeah.
So, like, but yeah, you go through all the gallery shit, and then you go back downstairs, like, through an elevator, and you go to the warehouse part.
Well,
and
the thing, though, you were telling me is, like, where you're looking through all the linear stuff, they have, a piece of paper, and you can write down the numbers.
Like little golf pencils and, like, paper, and you write down the numbers of the shit you want.
Yeah.
And then you go downstairs to the warehouse. And it is fucking floor to ceiling. These giant, like, 50, 60 foot high ceilings and shit. It is like a functioning warehouse. And, like, you go to the aisle that it says that your shit is in. And, like, there's a guy in an ugly shirt to help you.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen employee shirts that are uglier than IKEA's. They're yellow with, like, they basically look like referee shirts, but they're yellow and blue. They're awful, and I would be so fucking embarrassed.
But you know what? You'll always know it's them.
Yes!
That's the thing. They're the most, like, there you go. That's an IKEA guy.
Yeah.
Because, like, you work at, like, I don't know how many times... I was at Home Depot the other night.
Who works here?
No, I was sitting on the ground reading the back of, like, the Dremel that I was about to buy, and some Mexican guy came up, he's like, you work here? And I'm like,
no!
What? No! I'm not wearing an orange Home Depot shirt. Like, what the shit, man? But it's like, they're the most, like, slam color in your face.
You know who works there.
You know who works there.
And they don't fuck around. Like, they want to help.
Yeah.
Like, they're very much, like, about services. Like, we will help you find shit if you want to find shit.
Yeah.
Like,
but they're not, like,
but they're not leg humpers. Yeah.
Which is a hard balance.
But my favorite thing that we came to was what they call their, like, as-is section.
Yeah.
Which, I'm a bargain hunter, of course.
Yeah. This is
like the scratch and dent section.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, all this scratch and dent shit, and I'm like digging through stuff, and I'm finding things left and right. Found me a fucking sweet ass pillow for like, because it was a floor model. It had a cover and everything. Like upstairs, the pillow this size was $10, then it was $10 for the covers, because everything's slip covered there.
Yeah.
Like all the furniture, all the pillows, everything's slip covered. So this was like slip cover and pillow for $6 because it was a floor model. I'm like, yeah, that's mine now.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And then they had a fucking coffee table that they had just put out that was like a little bit dinged up.
Which I still haven't seen any of these
I haven't
days.
seen them either. Like, they're very, very not noticeable.
Yeah.
For $12.
Yeah.
For a fucking coffee table. And it, like, you know, yeah, the IKEA has this, like, reputation from back in the old days when it was, like, kind of wonky shit or whatever. But, like, dude, this table is fucking solid, I'm telling you.
It's pretty solid, yeah.
And I got this really cool, like, 5-tier metal shelving thing for $15,
sweet, yeah.
which is fucking awesome. And it was a snap to put together. Me and the basement baby put it together, like, in about an hour.
Yeah.
While I introduced her to Perfect Strangers on Hulu, which she, for some reason, immediately fell in love with.
That is so weird.
I know, right? Because that was like my favorite show as a kid too.
I loved it too because it was, you know what? I think it's because she loves that awkward YouTube shit.
Yeah,
and man, Perfect Strangers is some awkward ass shit.
Yeah,
Belky is fucking awkward. Like, you look back on that show and you're like, Belky was a creepy stalker.
Oh, yeah. But we walked out of that place like with, you know, whatever shit we walked out of and like ate, you know, full of fucking meatballs and shit. They have all kinds of cool shit there. Everything is really, really inexpensive, except for their, like, couches and shit. Their couches and chairs are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, and they're tiny. Like, they must be very small people, is all I can think, or short. Because, like, all their furniture, very low to the ground.
Yeah.
And
They're
very
shorter.
compact.
Yeah.
But they did have one thing that I am going to go back and get, actually, for the baby. Like, they had a little futon couch thing.
Oh, okay.
That is like one piece, and it like it sits as a couch, and then you like push it forward like a car, like a seat in a car, kind of, and then fold it back, and it becomes like a full size bed.
Oh, okay.
All like one piece, not like that stupid fucking futon frame and shit.
Yeah.
But it's all like it's $80.
Damn.
And I'm like, this thing's fucking
That's
awesome.
what a futon mattress would be.
Exactly. So you can have something like that, and like when we had people over or whatever, like they could crash out on that fucking thing, or she can have her friends over.
Yeah.
And when it's a fucking couch. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I got a little stuffed pig there.
Plus, we could probably get her some more shelving stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, the shelving. Dude, if you like shelving, which we do.
Need more oh, God.
Dave and I are both shelf whores.
I
like,
love
for
shelf.
sure.
One of the best apartments I ever lived in was back in Dayton when I was living with my friend Mindy and Daniel. I instantaneously fell in love with this apartment because one whole wall was built-in shelf. And I was like, oh my God. And they're like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, the shelves, they're so good. Like, I was like, oh, and I just was out there putting all my shit. I was like, fuck off, I'm putting shit on here. I don't care if you like it or not. And they're like, oh my God.
We're collectors and we want display space.
Yeah.
And that is,
I mean, built-in wall shelves are like, oh, it's like porn for me.
Dude, you just wait till we get a house. I swear to God, we're going to spend like $5,000 on shelves at IKEA.
Oh, God, like, yeah. And I'm going to put them into the walls, like, so they're not coming out.
Epic display cases and shit for collectors, like glass, lighted. Oh.
Yeah.
Just arcing ropes.
I need to go. I haven't got to go to this IKEA, so yeah, I need to go.
We'll go.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of bowling.
IKEA for
we
my
could go
birthday?
to IKEA for your birthday.
We'll go to IKEA for my birthday.
I think Ariel will probably be down with this.
Yeah. I'm okay.
I think you would love it. And the food was shockingly good too.
Yeah.
Like
instead of my arm being dead for bowling, you know, I'll just be
your legs will be dead.
My leg day at the IKEA.
It's some serious. Like I felt like I ran a marathon after I got that bitch.
I bet.
But I tell you what, it was a fucking blast. And I loved it. I can't wait to go back.
Crazy.
But we are around the hour mark, so I think we're probably good. Was there anything we missed? I was like, well, I mean, there's no lack of
shortage of
shit
to talk about.
Since it's been about a month since we recorded.
Yeah.
One more thing, actually.
Okay, go for it.
So, you guys might remember we talked about this a few times a few months back. And if you're into the local con scene in Columbus and Dayton and the Ohio area...
And if you just remember Epic Fail Con...
Yeah, you may remember hearing about this Time Lord Expo that was supposed to happen this coming weekend. So... Alright. How to democratically say these things.
Oh, God. We knew it was going to fail.
I knew the second I saw the flyer that it was going to fail. And I looked at you when we were brought the flyer and I said, this will not happen. this will fail.
And I said, if it does,
Yeah.
if it does actually happen, there's the chance that it could make money because of what it is. It's a very niche thing. It's Doctor Who. And Doctor Who does not bring in a shortage of money because Doctor Who fans are fucking, just those type of people.
Let me preface this by saying that this is all rumor that some of this is rumor, some of this is confirmed. I'm not here to throw anybody under a bus. But I'm not gonna pull any punches, and I'm not gonna lie and say that lie about a person that I don't have respect for.
Yeah.
Let me say this: the person who was organizing this show, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name because I'm not that guy.
No.
But
I've met this person.
You know who it is. If you're in the crowd, you know who it is.
Yeah, and I have no love for this motherfucker.
He is a prick.
Yeah.
He
self-serving,
is self-serving and self-righteous and self-important. And from the rumors that I've heard, he actually did this once before.
Like about 20 years ago? Yeah, about 20 years ago.
And it failed epically as well. Now, the things that I've heard are rumor-wise that are semi-confirmed, but I can't give up sources, is that they had given these flyers out. We saw these flyers.
Yeah.
They advertised Sylvester McCoy
and Tom Baker.
And Tom Baker by Skype.
Yep.
And they also advertised 3 or 4 other people. The Davros from the more modern Who.
Yeah, the Doctor or the Daleks Take Manhattan.
Yeah,
stuff,
and
young Amy Pond.
Young Amy Pond, and there was a couple other ones too.
Yeah, there was a couple other ones.
They advertised all these people, and I looked at that flyer and I said, "These people are not gonna."
No.
And it reminded me instantly of Epicon a few years ago.
Yep.
When they advertised all this amazing fucking lineup, and then right when you got down to the edge, like, none of these people are coming.
Yeah.
And the people that did come, we didn't pay for their shit.
Yeah, they got fucked over. So
anyway, I said Sylvester McCoy's not coming to a fucking show at a Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
In Buttlick, Ohio. And you were like, I don't know, it's Doctor Who thing. I'm like, yeah, I get that. And Doctor Who is awesome and popular and whatever. But again, it's a little tiny show at a fucking Dayton Holiday Inn. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like, here's the thing. Be realistic.
Yeah.
We do these shows all the time. Like, Aaron shows at that same Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
But he's not advertising fucking, Dave
Sylvester
Batista's
McCoy,
going to be there.
That's the thing. Like, it's one of those, like, his show is a toy collectibles show. So
you're advertising name actors.
This is not like, hey, we're gonna have like Wizard World at the local Motel 8, like.
And I can tell you from what I've heard, this is not completely 1,000% confirmed. But this is what the gist that I got from my source is that Tom Baker was confirmed.
Yep.
By Skype, but then once details emerged about what this was, he backed away.
Yeah.
They released a story saying he was deathly ill and couldn't do it, and then he went to Bleeding Cool and said, I'm not sick. These people didn't pay me.
Yeah.
So this is confirmed. This actually is confirmed.
That part's confirmed, yeah.
So then Sylvester McCoy, from my sources, was never actually confirmed or booked at all.
No. But
they used him in all of their
But they laid his name out like there was no tomorrow until his people found out about this.
And we're like, what the fuck?
And we're like, hey, if you keep using his name, saying he's going to be here, legal ramifications.
Yeah. We're going to sue you.
Yeah. So
that's old. Hey, you're old gun.
Oh, yeah. That was hilarious to watch, ladies and gentlemen.
So then, about a week ago, an announcement comes out on their Facebook group. Now, at this time, I believe this is a loose number. They had 150 confirmed paid people that had already paid their money and had bought packages for Tom Baker, like signatures and shit. Sylvester McCoy packages, all this shit.
Now, the show itself was not expensive to get into. It was only about 10 or 15 bucks. But these packages, however,
I think the cheapest one was like $40, and they went up to like a couple $100.
Yeah.
They were instantly everybody's getting refunded in theory. Well, here's the other problem with this. We watch these guys go around to these shows and take cash from people and not write down anything.
Nothing.
So my question is, how are you going to refund these people?
Yeah.
How are you going to refund these people who paid you cash? And first of all, why would you give somebody cash and not have a ticket? given to you or something. This puzzles me. Now, if anybody has clarity on this, if anybody out there that's listening is paid for this and they did get something, please let me know. Because I'd be happy to retract.
Yeah.
But from what we saw, this is not what was happening.
I saw, just cash slip from hand to hand and nothing getting written down, so...
And I feel like some people got roped into helping with this thing that were innocent in this.
Yeah.
And I think that some people were lied to. I know that, Ariel has a friend that was volunteering for it that runs another con that was basically doing it in exchange for promotion of his own show.
Yeah.
Which I won't mention names or whatever, but and then I know, God bless you, Stebbins guy, James.
Yeah.
One of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. Am I not wrong?
No, super sweet guy. Super nice guy.
The size of a fucking
Always
elephant.
was doing the Stebbins shows from a place of, wanting to help.
Wanted to help the band.
Wanted to help the band.
Fucking marching
band.
the
marching band.
And the sports, sports of the school and stuff.
Yeah.
And those people don't give a shit about that guy.
No.
And that really was wrong. And he's a nice guy, and he's a good person, and has a great heart.
Yeah.
And he was involved in the show in some way, but I honestly, knowing him relatively well, I don't believe he knew any of this.
No,
I really don't.
I feel like he was more
I might be wrong. That's just my opinion.
I feel more like he was a street team kind of guy.
Yeah.
Where he was just putting the name out and trying to help and do that type, be involved, that type of stuff.
I think so too.
But I feel like all the fucking dubiousness shit was all centered on at least one or two people.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was the one.
And what makes me mad, and the reason we're talking about this, is because this is the same problem we had when Epicon failed. This does not make us look good, and this is why we will have problems getting shows.
Yeah, this is why if you ever wondered why the guest list at Wizard World Columbus isn't nearly as good as say Cleveland or the
or Philly
or any of the other ones and shit like that, and half of them end up canceling and shit. Mm-hmm. It's because of shit like this where they're like, hey, Dayton Columbus area. You go there, you may not get paid.
You may not get to have a fucking hotel
room, all kinds of shit.
People will lie and use your name in advertising when you were never booked.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to issue something right now. If the guy who ran this shit wants to talk about this, wants to answer questions about this, I'll be glad to answer. I'll be glad to ask those questions. Because I'm not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
When it comes to this shit, we are a part of this community, and we are a part of this fan community. We are a big part of this fan community, and we love comics, and we love our local scene, and we love our local con family. And so I want this guy to answer for what the fuck has happened here. Now, I want to give big credit to Jamie and Teresa at Pack Rat, because they stepped in, and they took over with these people who have already booked to come here.
Yeah.
The lady who played young Amy Pond, who's actually the older one's cousin. Karen Gillian's cousin. Yep. And Davros are going to be doing an event at Pack Rat this weekend instead. So anybody who was going to go to this Time Lord thing, you go to Pack Rat in Hilliard. Pack Rat Comics in Latimer Street in Hilliard, Ohio.
Yep. This
weekend on Saturday. Let me pull up the event so I get it right. But this is what's great about those guys.
Yeah.
Is that they are the kind of people that step in and say, hey, here we go. Come, you got fucked. Come here.
We'll help you out the best we can. We'll do the best we can to facilitate. And
I'm sure there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff or whatever. I don't want to speculate.
Yeah.
On what the behind the scenes of it is. But I'll tell you, Saturday, October the 14th, 10 a.m., Pack Rat Comics in Hilliard. Let me go over the event page here. But, Terry Malloy, who is Davros, and Caitlin Blackwood, who's the young Amy Pond, are both going to be there. There's going to be Doctor Who vendors there. Mm-hmm. There's going to be doing photo opportunities with apparently, large set pieces and stuff. Apparently it's going to be a pretty fucking epic thing. They're really trying to step up and definitely make this into something for sure. Let me look and see what the schedule of events is. I'll kind of just go through it real quick so everybody knows what's going on. It starts at 10 o'clock. From 10 a.m. to 6, there's going to be autographs and photos with Terry Malloy and Caitlin Blackwood. Also from 10 to 6, a Doctor Who experience with Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey, which is Doctor Who props and memorabilia. At 10:30, Terry Malloy is going to be reading, doing a reading of a book about Monty. I don't know exactly what that is. From 11 to 2, there's going to be free screen printing of Doctor Who themed shirts. Of course, Jamie's got his awesome screen printing business. There's going to be a food I don't know what this is, but Pingweenies food truck is going to be there. From 11 to 1, they're doing a meet and greet with fans that pay for the meet and greet. 3 to 4, they're doing another meet and greet, and then 5, they're doing a cosplay contest.
Yep.
And then if anybody's interested in autograph prices and photo prices, Caitlin Blackwood autograph is 20 and a selfie is 10. And Terry Malloy autograph is 20, selfie is 10. And Terry will be bringing, I don't know what Monty is, but apparently it's a book he wrote, I think.
Yeah.
And he'll be selling copies of his book as well. There's going to be private meet and greet for both. For Caitlin, it's 50 from 11 to 1, and for Terry, it's 50 also from 3 to 4. Considering con prices, not bad at all.
Yeah,
if you're a Doctor Who fan, this is a great fucking opportunity for you to get up close and personal with Doctor Who people that you're not necessarily going to be able to get that chance at a con, because at a con there's a million fucking people there.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The amount of like opportunity is like pretty slim. You know, like price not bad. Time is what you're pretty much looking at here. Like at a con. Fuck, those things are usually sold out pretty early on.
So I want to definitely, if you're into Doctor Who, check it out. I know a lot of people that didn't get to go to the original thing are excited about it because now they are not basically shit out of luck.
Yeah, dude, I get fucked over. That's good.
So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I might try to stop in there if I get a minute. I'm not a huge Doctor Who fan, but I have some level of fandom for it. Like, I love David Tennant's run. I love Christopher Eccleston's run. Past that, I don't really give a flying shit. But
pretty much.
But I want to stop by to support my local comic shop, which everybody should do.
Yeah.
And support people who I know love comics and love the fan community. So that's important to me. I want to throw a shout out to, of course, Mike Watson, whose Kickstarter did extremely well for Hot Shot for the reboot, or the relaunch, I should say.
Yeah.
Did extremely well, successfully funded. I'm looking forward. We're trying to set something up to do something with Mike. We just got the PDF of Hot Shot 9. Y'all can suck it. Y'all that don't get to see cool shit like this like we do. Yeah. We've got the first 2 issues of Howl that we're still going to be reviewing. Prowl, I'm sorry I said Howl. I was thinking of the other thing that I was talking about the other day. Prowl that we're going to be doing Adam Field's book.
I might try and see if we can get the 3rd one and then just do all 3 and then go from that.
I'm also excited because our buddy Russell Lissow of Old Wounds fame has sent us 3 books that he did this year that we've never seen before.
No.
And I'm super fucking excited about that because I'm a big mark for Russell.
Yeah.
And of course, Old Wounds is one of our all-time favorite comics, I would say.
Fucking book.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about a lot of stuff that's coming up. We've got a Jim and Dan show in December on the 3rd. Tony Moore is actually going to be at that one.
Huh?
Tony Moore's going to be at that one. If you guys know Tony Moore from his work on Walking Dead and Armory Wars.
Yep.
And Deadpool and Punisher and Venom and Fear Agent and Battle
and a lot
and a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, like
this is a guy who's definitely a big get.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that too. But I don't know, big things in the works. I might try to get a Michigan show in. There's a late November Michigan show that I'm really interested in.
Oh, yeah?
That if I can get the time off and I can talk to John, I might try to book. Because I'd love to go back down to Michigan. I miss my Michigan friends a lot. Haven't seen anybody in a year at least, and I miss all the peeps. I'm sorry that we didn't get to go out to Cincy this year. I really wanted to go to the horror show that was just last weekend, Cinema Wasteland. I wanted to go to Cinema Wasteland. This is like the 3rd year in a row I've wanted to go and couldn't go because of work schedules. But Horror Hound's going to be in Columbus this year.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really interested in Horror Hound.
I think we might try to at least go to it, let alone do anything. So
I I definitely want to try to go there and get as many pictures as possible.
Maybe might do... If we can get the right equipment, we might try and do some on-the-spot interviews with some people. Yeah,
I'm super fucking, jazzed for that one. It's going to be a hell of a lineup. Shannon Elizabeth is going to be there from the American Pie movies and everything else in my beautiful sex dreams. Mick Foley is going to be there.
Of all of my fantasies,
Mick Foley's going to be there. Mina Suvari.
Yeah.
Tara Reid. Ethan Embry's going to be there.
Oh, see, I want to talk to Ethan.
Fuck yeah, I do, because Empire Records is the shit.
Yeah, so
Robin
is Can't Hardly Wait. Yeah.
Love her. Barbara
fuck
Steele.
yeah.
Fucking Chris Sarandon. Love Chris Sarandon.
Yeah.
Fucking OG pimp of the century. Scott McDonald from the Jack Frost movies and Fight Club. Robert Brian Wilson from Silent Night, Deadly Night, I believe.
Yep.
Ted White, one of the guys who played Jason over the years. Tom Morgan, one of the guys who was Michael Myers. Chris Owen from American Pie.
I just want to talk to him because awesome.
And of course, not just American Pie, but our favorite movie ever, Ready to Rumble.
Yeah.
With Ted said Russell's pussies.
Thomas Ian Nichols.
Yeah, Thomas Ian Nichols, fucking Rookie of the Year, baby.
Fuck yeah.
John Cassier, voice of the Crypt Keeper. Zach Galligan of fucking Gremlins. Come on, man. This
Tiffany.
Fucking 80s celebration of all time.
Like, this is fucking some good stuff.
Zach Ward's gonna be there.
Oh, dude, Zach Ward. I love him.
And if you're from Columbus,
Titus.
Yeah, if you're from Columbus, you know this name, Fritz the fucking Night Owl. Yeah. This was our fucking horror host. Like, you know, you had Zachary, you had fucking the horror hosts and everywhere else. This was our horror host.
Fritz the Night Owl.
Fritz the Night Owl, fucking pimp. Love that guy. Yeah. Can't wait to see. There's more guests that haven't even been revealed yet.
Yeah.
Let me see what the date on this one is. This one I'm very, very jazzed about, and as long as it doesn't conflict with anything, it's November 3rd through the 5th, so I don't think it conflicts with anything else. It's going to be at the Crown Plaza Columbus North, down in 6500 Doubletree Avenue in Columbus. Usually they have this in Cincinnati, but this year for some reason it's here. So
yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm jazzed about that. Yeah. So this one's one we're definitely gonna try to go for sure.
Yeah, that's the weekend before the big event in South Carolina.
Oh, is it?
So, yeah,
oh, cool.
I could probably make that one.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about a lot of things coming up, and I think we're here with a renewed enthusiasm for what we're doing. You notice that the intro of the show's a little different. I'm going to be honest with you. After 160 shows, I ran out of shit to say.
Yeah, coming up with the one-liners gets
the only show who's being recorded on 1 fucking hour of sleep. I don't know. I love doing that, and I hung in there for 158 episodes. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
but I got nothing. So. You know, this is the new and improved us. Like, yeah, we're back.
You might notice a newer intro down the line, but for right now, what you get. We're gonna work out some different things, try some different stuff. Yeah, so we're back, bitches.
We're back. We're excited.
Yeah,
and we're ready to go. Well, we're at the hour and 22 mark.
We're also tired because
we're also tired because we haven't slept yet. We fucking worked last night.
Yeah.
So, if you, it's chilling time, of course.
Yeah, it's monkey.
So, if you like what you hear today on the Basement Fodder podcast, you can of course find us at our network home of digitalnerdage.com. You can find us on our website, thebasementofdoom.wordpress.com. You can also find us on, the Spreaker app, on iTunes, on YouTube. All those places. All those places and more.
Yeah.
If you want to follow us on social media, on Instagram and Twitter, we are at Basement Fodder. On Facebook, it's Todd of Basement Fodder, Dave of Basement Fodder, the original Basement Babe, the Den Mother of Doom, the Basement Fodder Podcast, the Todd Files, It Came From the Q, and of course, I'm Todd Dave on Facebook, and you are Dave of Basement Fodder, right? Dave Basement of Doom. Dave Basement of Doom. Yep. And I think that's all the shilling, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
If you want more details on the Pack Rat event, go to packratcomics.com.
Yep.
Or go to Pack Rat Comics on Facebook.
Or just fucking go.
Or just go to Pack Rat Comics.
Yeah, just go to Pack Rat
Comics.
Talk to Jamie. Talk to Teresa. They'll tell you.
Yes. Big shout out before we go to Dirk and everybody that did New York Comic Con this weekend. It was a huge show. They actually had Twisted at their booth signing the Twisted comic.
Fuck yeah.
So that's a big fucking thing.
That is.
Yeah,
I know Dirk and Casey did both very well.
I know our good friend Stephanie is down in ill right now, so Steph, get better soon.
Yeah, as I say, did she just have her surgery, or is her surgery?
The last few days she had it, yeah. So she's been down.
Yes.
So
Good
Stephanie,
luck.
we love
Best
you and we
wishes.
hope you feel better.
Lots of butt rubbing.
Yeah.
So many butt rubs.
Sorry, Mike. So that's going to do it for this week. As always, from the Basement of Doom, I'm Todd.
I'm Dave.
And until next time, the basement door, it's closed.
Yeah. Except for the damn cats.